Did Cindy already know Mel had chosen Peg before she left the mansion? Her shocking confession changes everything. In the most dramatic twist yet on the Golden Bachelor *, Cindy Cullers, one of this season's most beloved and emotionally open contestants, has finally broken her silence about the moment fans can't stop talking about. Did she know Mel had already chosen Peg before she packed her bags and left the mansion? For weeks, viewers have debated every expression, every pause, every tear, and every tense rose ceremony moment involving Cindy, Mel, and Peg. But now, for the first time, Cindy herself is pulling back the curtain on what really happened, what she saw, what she felt, and what she suspected long before the cameras showed her emotional exit. And her answer is turning into one of the most shocking revelations of the entire franchise. Cindy begins her account by acknowledging that she walked into the Golden Bachelor mansion with genuine hope, not just to fall in love, but to start a new chapter after years of personal loss and loneliness. She bonded quickly with Mel, a man the entire nation has fallen for thanks to his quiet charm, warm smile, and surprising vulnerability. Their early connection seemed undeniable. Long conversations, shared memories of their spouses, comfortable silences, and a chemistry that viewers immediately noticed. But behind the scenes, Cindy says, she began picking up subtle shifts long before fans spotted them on the show. Subscribe now for breaking celebrity news updates. According to Cindy, the first sign came during a group date *, one the audience saw only a carefully edited portion of. While she and Mel had been inseparable during the first few weeks of filming, she says she suddenly found herself nudged toward the sidelines, as Mel and Peg seemed to gravitate toward each other naturally. It wasn't blatant, she explains, but it was a feeling. You know when you're standing next to someone, and their eyes keep drifting past you to another person. That started happening, she admits. At first, she dismissed it as her own insecurity. But the second sign, she says it became impossible to ignore. Cindy recalls a night in the mansion when all the women had settled in after a long day of filming. Peg and Mel had shared a one-on-one date earlier that day, and while Cindy didn't know the details, she could sense the energy the moment Peg returned. Peg walked in glowing, literally glowing, with that unmistakable look of someone who has just had a breakthrough. Her smile was different, Cindy says. Happier, softer, but also a little private. Peg tried to downplay it, laughing and saying it was a really nice date, but to Cindy, her eyes told the whole story. That's the moment Cindy says she first realized that Peg might be farther ahead in Mel's heart than she expected. But that wasn't the final sign. The moment that confirmed everything for Cindy came just days before her emotional exit. She and Mel had been sitting by the fire during an evening portion of a date, and though Mel was attentive and kind, Cindy sensed something missing. He looked at me, but he didn't look * at me, she explains, gesturing to her eyes. We talked, but the depth wasn't there anymore. She describes Mel as gentle, never giving her false hope, never misleading her, but she says she felt something had shifted internally for him, even if he hadn't said it aloud yet. When the cameras weren't rolling, Cindy says Mel became noticeably quieter with her. Not cold, not distant, just not fully present. There's a unique kind of silence people have when they're already thinking about someone else, she continues. And it wasn't something he said, it was something he didn't say. When she returned to her room that night, Cindy wrote in her journal, I think his heart already belongs to someone. She didn't write Peg's name outright, but she admits now that Peg was the only person who fit that description. Still, Cindy was hopeful. After all, it's the Golden Bachelor. Anything can happen. Hearts reopen. Connections deepen. Surprises are part of the journey. She didn't walk into the next rose ceremony expecting heartbreak, but she carried the quiet knowledge that she might not be the one standing beside Mel at the end. And then came the elimination that stunned viewers. Cindy's name wasn't called, and as she exited gracefully, holding back tears, Mel whispered to her something fans didn't hear on air. Cindy reveals that Mel gently squeezed her hand and said, "Thank you for everything. You're extraordinary." It was sweet, it was emotional, but it also confirmed her suspicion, he was letting her go because someone else already held his heart. But here's where Cindy's story takes a turn no one expected. After her exit aired, fans bombarded social media with two burning questions. 1. Did she know Peg was Mel's choice? *2. Did she feel blindsided? Asterisk. At first, Cindy remained mostly silent, choosing to let the episodes play out. But now, she's finally telling the truth, and it's more nuanced than fans expected. Cindy admits she didn't have concrete proof, but she absolutely had strong intuition that Mel had chosen Peg long before the official announcement. Women know, she says. We're intuitive. We read energy, and the energy between Mel and Peg. It grew louder every week. She insists she wasn't blindsided, not emotionally, at least. What she didn't know, however, was how early Mel knew Peg was the one. According to Cindy, she thought Mel was narrowing things down in real time. It wasn't until she watched the episodes for herself that she realized Mel had been wrestling with that decision even earlier than she imagined. There were moments they showed that I never saw, she admits. Moments where he looked at Peg the way every woman hopes a man will look at her someday. Seeing those scenes during the broadcast was, she says, both heartbreaking and clarifying. Cindy also addresses one of the hottest fan theories circulating on TikTok and Reddit, that Peg played the game better than the others. Cindy shuts that rumor down immediately. She describes Peg as warm, genuine, and thoughtful, a woman who wasn't trying to compete, just trying to be real. If Mel chose her, Cindy says, it wasn't because she strategized. It was because he connected with her in a way he didn't with anyone else. But Cindy's biggest revelation comes when she discusses the moment she finally realized she didn't want Mel to choose her if Peg was the true match. When you care about someone, you want them to find a love that heals them, she says quietly. You don't want to be the consolation prize. And you don't want him to end up regretting anything. She explains that watching Peg and Mel together, both on the show and afterward, made her feel confident walking away, even if the exit was painful. What surprises fans most is Cindy's grace. Instead of resentment or jealousy, she expresses gratitude. Gratitude for the experience. Gratitude for the friendships. Gratitude for the clarity. And even gratitude for Mel choosing Peg. She says the show forced her to confront her own fears, her own needs, and her own readiness for love again. I thought I was broken beyond repair, she admits. But being on that journey showed me I still have capacity for love, and that it's okay if the first man I cared about again didn't choose me. She also reveals that producers reached out to her after filming to discuss potential future opportunities, something that has fans buzzing about whether Cindy could become the next Golden Bachelorette. Though she won't confirm or deny anything, she says she's open to finding love on camera again if the timing is right. My heart is open, she says. Maybe more open than it's been in years. As for Peg and Mel, Cindy says she wishes them nothing but the best. She even hints that she has spoken to Peg privately since filming ended. We're women of a certain age, Cindy laughs. We don't have time for petty drama. We choose peace. She says Peg thanked her for being kind, supportive, and honest throughout the process. Cindy responded by telling Peg she truly believes Mel made the right choice. What resonates most from Cindy's story isn't scandal or heartbreak, but maturity, wisdom, and acceptance. In a franchise built on drama, Cindy's response stands out as something quietly beautiful. She didn't crumble. She didn't lash out. She didn't spiral into bitterness. She walked away with her dignity intact, her heart intact, and her hope intact. Finally, Cindy answers the headline question directly, yes, I knew. Maybe not officially, but I knew in my heart long before I left. But she adds something else, something that has fans falling in love with her all over again, and I'm glad he chose Peg. Because everyone deserves to find the person who makes them feel seen. And his person wasn't me. And that's okay. With that, Cindy Cullers has closed her chapter with Mel, gracefully, honestly, and powerfully, reminding viewers everywhere that sometimes the most meaningful love stories aren't about who we end up with but who we become along the way. Thanks for watching this video and please subscribe Talent Zone Updates YouTube channel for more update news. What was your favorite moment from the show? Let us know in the comments.